All right, real fast. Just drop in the comments, like, how do you feel about your guitar playing right now? Like, where do you consider yourself? Beginner, intermediate, advanced? Do you feel like you stink? Do you feel you're stuck? Do you feel you're progressing? I'm just curious, all right? Don't worry, if you feel you stink, we all feel like we stink some days. But look at this chart. We're going to move through this together. I got you, all right? So you see two blue shapes. These are triads. And I did a monster lesson yesterday. And triads are like, they're the skeleton, the spine, the bones, the glue. And you have to know these. And I have a playlist I'll link at the end. I'm building out brand new with charts, one triad at a time, all 12 major, all 12 minor. Now on this chart, this comes from a lesson I did yesterday, a monster deep lesson, right? So we're gonna break it down even though, but essentially what it is, I did a D minor 7 chord, and then I did a G, and then I did a C, and then I did an A minor. I just left that on the bottom right. So it's a 2-5-1-6 chord progression. In this case, we're just gonna take the 1, C, and G, and the triad. So we're gonna do triads, bar chords, triad, bar chord, and then we're gonna do what's called the major pentatonic for both of it. And you're gonna see how that spine stays there, the spine being the triad. So let's just do this. Top left of the chart, grab it, linked below in the description. This ebook is there. Every chart you see is in the ebook, so grab that and practice this. So a C major triad is C, E, G, okay? So the first thing you gotta do is, the fretboard's totally invisible to us, right? Meaning when we pick it up, the guitar, and we're looking at it, we don't know what all the notes are. We don't know how these fit together, what context they fit together, and that's what we're trying to do here. Just build that up little by little. So as you're gonna see as we move through this lesson and we add to it, you're gonna see that spine, that triad stays there. Now, you always, 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 always have to put rhythm at the front, right? Rhythm is king, rhythm is queen. Repetition, repetition, rhythm, 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 okay? Everything else is secondary, because if you don't have solid, tight rhythm, none of this means anything. So take these lessons I give you and chunk them. Put chapters in here, break them down. So C, E, G, C, E, G, G, B, D, G, B, D. Then maybe you just hit them all. So keep that rhythm tight. Now, again, on the top left, you have C, E, G, G, B, D. That's a great way to learn the notes on the fretboard. Not all disconnected, like, oh, C, 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 C. That's not how you want to do it. That's great. I'm not knocking that, but I'm saying this is how you want to do it. C, E, G, because in the end, this is what we're going to do is make music. Okay, so the triads. So just get these shapes. You need to see, this is just one major triad shape, and in this case, it's a 1-3-5, meaning the root, third and fifth note. That's how you build a triad from the major scale, okay? And then there's 11 more major triad shapes, and then there's 12 minor triad shapes. You learn all those, and you use those as your anchor points or your spines to weave around, you're gonna be crushing it. You will never feel you stink ever again. Well, maybe some days, because we're our own worst enemies, aren't we? Okay. So you got that. Now you're gonna see as we add to this, watch what happens. Let's go to the next chart. Whoop, you see this one? Look. And I'll keep the information the same. The triad names will be at the top left. I'll just keep that chord progression there. Watch the video, the big one I did yesterday, linked at the end. See if you can do it. There's chapters in there. Now look, what did we add here? Now again, we added a C major bar chord. Okay? I get it, bar chords are not easy, okay? Bar chord, but look, you see there's the spine, that triad. It's right inside the bar chord, okay? So here's something you just gotta have this light bulb moment right now, I'm telling you. This major triad shape now we're on the DGB string set, meaning we use that as like a reference point, the open strings, and if you watch my triad playlist, linked at the end, you'll know all of this, is inside of every bar chord. So watch, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad. You guys that have been on the channel know I hammer this so much. Actually, the biggest, most successful video, which I made on my iPad with no planning, was all about this move. Bar chord to triad, bar chord to triad. Now, what do you notice about the notes? So you have your triad, there's 3 C's, and there's 2 G's, and there's 1 E. But that's how you make the triad. So this just has certain notes that repeat, the full bar chord, but if you want that stripped down beautiful version, triad. So bar chord, triad, but there's that blue spine triad sticking right out at you, okay? Now here's the beauty of this, patterns, right? Repetition. Now watch, go to the next chart. Whoop, I'm gonna keep the C major bar chord and triad there, but look, Same thing for G. Now we've got the G bar chord. And look, like I just told you, this is no secrets, no tricks, maybe a tip, whatever you want this is, but you just have to have this recognition. You need this. So there's that triad inside of that bar chord. So bar chord, triad, G bar chord, G triad, G bar chord, G triad. Maybe you play it and then pick it. This is just frameworks for playing ideas, because we don't just learn this to know what it is in the theory. We want to make music. That's the most important thing. So bar chord, triad. So maybe you go between C bar chord, C triad, G bar chord, G triad. You could do this too. I do a lot with a lot of beginner students when I used to teach in person, where I don't even use the rhythm hand. I don't even take the train out of the equation, and I just get a night. You're gonna feel when you're in the groove. Then you put it together. Now here's another idea. You gotta be creative. Use your musicality. What if you go just the triads, like arpeggiate them, then go to the bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad. Okay, so you see what we're doing there. Now, just don't lose sight of, you see that angular triad, the 1-3-5 on the DGB string set. That's a 1-3-5 major triad. Again, you gotta watch my playlist on these triads, and I'm moving through them. I think I've done the first 9 out of 12 major, and we'll get to minor next. And the charts are in there, just one at a time, okay? So there you go. Now watch what's gonna happen next. Watch how this spine, this C major triad spine, does not disappear. Here's the next chart. Whoop. All right. Now, you see the bar chord, you still see that triad. What did we add here? What we added was a C major pentatonic scale. Okay, so you gotta see how this is like a family that fits together real nice. The triad, there's your spine, you're building around that triad, you got the bar chord, and now we've laid over the top of that the major pentatonic. So if you play that, so C major triad, just real slow. Now here's one thing that's really cool you can do too. If you want to just break it down, just play it from on the E, A, and D string. You don't have to go from low E to high E. I just put it on there in case you want it. So, okay, now what's something you could do right here that would advance your playing and make you feel good? And this is what the key part of this is, it's fun, all right? So if you go bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, lick. So what did I do there? I played a little lick out of the major pentatonic. Now you don't need to play my pattern note for note. You're gonna be you because you're you, right? And I'm me, right? I think so, unless we're in some crazy matrix. Feels like it sometimes, but be as musical as you can in one little area, okay? So now everything I just did there, every little thing I did musically was out of what you have on this chart. It was just a combination of the triad, the bar chord, and the major pentatonic. Now, I want you to think like this, because the whole point of this lesson is pointing out that the triad is the spine of this little musical piece. So in my head, the way my brain is seeing this is I'm weaving around that triad shape. So at the very least, the most important thing you can take away from this whole lesson is learning the 2 triads, C, E, G, and GBD on the GBD string set, okay? Everything else comes secondary to that, except for rhythm. You gotta hold down the groove, okay? So, triad. So in my head, I'm just seeing that shape, and I'm just weaving around it. It's like you're kind of dancing around it, whether it's rhythmically or melodically. See right there, as soon as I go to that, I know that's the major third. That's E of that shape, because I see the shape. Get it? You follow me? Did your brain melt? Well, if you watch the lesson I did yesterday, your brain will melt for sure. But okay, so what do you think is going to happen next? We're going to do the same thing, next chart, whoop, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Now, this looks crazy, right? But staring you right in the face is that little blue spine, that triad, the glue, them bones, right? Isn't that a great Alice in Chains song? All right, so you got the GBD triad, and we'll shank that, but here's the same thing. Now we just added the G major pentatonic, and here's the beauty of this. The pattern is exactly the same as the C major pentatonic, okay? Because we're playing the same pentatonic pattern, okay? And it's just in a different, we're playing in a G, as a G major pentatonic. So you could do the same thing, but always be aware of where that triad is, okay? Listen, even if you slide into the first note of the triad and then branch off of that and do something musical, for example. Now, all I did in that little first part is just play something off the triad. Have you ever heard, you've probably seen videos, I've done a few, I should do more, like how to use triads to solo. This is the single best way to start soloing over chord changes, where you don't get stuck in one position. Just use the triad to solo. So it's like someone's jamming a G, like let's say your buddy, or my buddy Bruce down the street. Poor Bruce, I melted his brain with this lesson. Bruce is a real human that plays guitar. He's a beginner. I showed him the lesson from yesterday, and I think I wiped him out. He needs a few days to go back. Okay, now use the whole chart. Maybe start off with, I'm just giving you ideas. Do you have to do this? No, because you're going to do what you do. You're musical in your own way. Just do the triads. Think like a songwriter, like this is the intro to your amazing 2-chord song. Just triads. Okay, kind of shanked there, but you see what I'm getting at, okay? So what I want you to do is get the charts, linked below. I made them in a nice little tidy ebook with my Mr. Elmer's Music Lab on the cover. And I want you to see that spine. Every time you start playing music now, see if you can pull a triad out of there. Just start with these bar chords, all right? If you watched the lesson yesterday, there's an A minor bar chord, and the A minor triad is right there. So you're just gonna keep getting better and better and better and better and better, and then you'll never be the best, because none of us are the best, but we can keep getting better. That's the beauty of music. It just does not end, which is fascinating, right? So there's hope for all of us. For you, for me, for all of us. All right, drop Jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Keep going, because who can stop you? Just you. So don't stop. That's it. Keep coming back here. I've got you covered. Yeah, and I'm going to start a little podcast on here too. Let me see if I can show you real quick. I got this sweet little, see this little guy? I got this little mic flag. Do a little podcast in here. Now, just a way to talk and kind of talk music with you guys on a different angle. All right. Jellyfish, your favorite sea creature in the comments. Did I say that already? Sorry, I've been drinking a lot of iced coffee today, like usual. And see you in the next video. All right.